Thank you so much for joining me today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine, and today we are going to do a chair yoga practice. Nothing special, just come to your nice, safe, sturdy, secure seat with the intention of taking a break, taking a breath, and taking a moment to get a little bit of movement and refresh and recharge before it is that you do whatever you need to do for the rest of your day. Now that you have found your nice, safe, sturdy, comfortable chair, make sure that your feet are placed firmly on the floor in front of you. Bare feet is great, but if you're wearing shoes, just make sure you can press into the shoes and feel the entire sole of each foot pressing evenly into your shoes or onto the floor. Sit up nice and tall, and maybe take a moment just to kind of roll one shoulder and then the other in one direction. Maybe letting the hands slide up and down along the thighs, and then reverse those movements. This will probably feel a little awkward wherever you defaulted to move first. The second side is always a little funky, but it's okay. We can be comfortable with funky and awkward. And then maybe shake out your arms. Maybe just kind of rattle the shoulders a little from side to side. Maybe tap the feet on the floor and just kind of get a little bit of loosey-goosey movement. Nothing special here. And then find a moment of stillness, just long enough to notice your breath. Notice the breath either as it enters through the nostrils and then exits again as you exhale, or perhaps anchoring yourself with the rise and fall of the belly as you inhale and exhale might be a little more anchoring for you. There's no one particular way to notice the breath. There are a lot of different ways: the rising and the falling of the chest, expansion of the belly, maybe expansion of the whole torso. Maybe you can feel the breath as it enters through your throat. Whatever makes sense to you, just notice where you are and how you're breathing. If it helps, go ahead and close your eyes, maybe helping you to turn a little bit of inward. And then let's just begin moving in a little cat and cow. And as we arch into cat, let's link that movement with our inhale. And as we round back into cat, let's link that movement with the exhale. So we'll inhale, lifting the heart, arching the back, keeping that chin tucked. Exhale, drawing the chin in towards the chest and rounding the back, drawing the belly button towards the spine. Inhale, lifting the heart, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, rounding through the back, drawing into cat pose. One more time in each position, drawing those elbows down and toward one another as you inhale into cow. And reaching forward with the arms as you exhale into cat. And this time, let's inhale into cow, and we'll stay there for a couple of breaths. See if you can't adjust this position a little bit to be more comfortable and feel more opening for you. So as you inhale here and exhale as well, see if you can't lift your heart a little higher as you inhale. Perhaps draw the elbows closer to the floor as you exhale. Continue to draw the shoulder blades down the back as you breathe in and out. Keep the chin tucked even as you lift the heart to keep the neck nice and long and protected. One more full breath here. One more inhale, and then we'll exhale, rounding back into cat and staying here for a few breaths.
As you inhale, see if you can't expand through the back body. And as you exhale, maybe bring that belly button in a little closer to the spine. As you inhale, maybe think about inhaling into the upper back. And as you exhale, maybe think about reaching those arms, reaching those fingertips a little farther forward as you draw the belly button towards the spine. Maybe inhale into the middle of the back. And exhale, reaching forward with the fingers and drawing back with the belly button. One more full breath here, this time inhaling into the low back. And exhaling for that opposite feeling of reaching forward with the fingers and backward with the belly button. And then inhale back up to a nice tall spine. And then we'll go ahead and get a little bit of neck movement. So let's just kind of draw the chin in, really kind of going for that double chin look here. And then jut the chin out. So we're getting some movement here at the base of the skull as we draw the chin in and push back into the base of the skull. And jut the chin out, really kind of crunching, well, not crunching the back of the neck necessarily, but sort of drawing the base of the skull towards the top of the spine. One more time, drawing back. One more time, drawing forward. And then we'll come back to a tall spine and we'll just circle those shoulders up and forward and down a few times, not to the full extension of your range of motion, just nice and easy, getting some gentle movement here. And then we'll switch the circles, coming up and back and down. Just getting some movement in the shoulders. And one last time. And then we'll make some circles with the nose, as big as feels good for you. It doesn't matter what direction you start because we're gonna reverse the direction. And you may hear some sounds in the neck as you move around and around. And then reverse the circles, balancing everything out. Around and around we go. And bringing it back to stillness. Let's go ahead and lift the heart, tuck the chin, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and then take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Breathing here. Begin a nice slow journey, taking the gaze down towards the earth and bringing the chin down towards the chest, crossing over towards the right, and then lifting the right ear to the right shoulder. And then reversing that motion, taking the gaze down to the floor, through center with the chin at the chest, gazing down to the left, and bringing the ear back over the shoulder. And let's just do that a few times. Continuing to find that nice long spine with the lifted heart. Elbows are heavy. Eyes can be closed if that feels good here, or open if it doesn't. And again, you might notice some strange sounds. If you hear any popping in the neck, it is likely just gas releasing from the vertebrae in the neck. As long as there's no pain, you're probably okay. But if you do feel any pain, either stop doing the movement or back off a little bit until you don't feel any pain. But this should feel pretty good. One more time, all the way across over to the right. And then we'll take the right hand to the right cheek and gently lift the head to the top of the spine. And then let's do a little arm and leg extensions. So inhale nice and tall here. Stay for the exhale. And then we'll inhale to bring the right arm out in front and take the left leg out long, flexing through the heel. And then bring them both down. And then we'll inhale, lifting the left arm and the right leg. Exhale to release. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale to release. And it really doesn't matter as we keep moving through this motion, linking the movement with the breath, in what direction you have your arm facing. Palm can be facing the center. Palm can be facing up towards the sky. You might like to have the palm facing down towards the earth, or maybe you might like to have the palm facing outside. Each time you make this motion, change the position of the palm, and you'll actually be stimulating those shoulder sockets and building strength there as well as range of motion. So feel free to experiment, make it your own. See what feels best in your shoulder. And the shoulder and the leg might not even come up very far, especially if you've had any injury or you have any reason why you might have a lesser range of motion. But just take them as far as they will go. One more time on each side. And we will exhale to release. And we'll roll those shoulders forward and down and around a couple of times, and then up and back and down a couple of times. And then let's go ahead and send that right leg out long, and we'll cross the right leg over the left knee, using your hands to assist you to bring it up to the top of the thigh and getting this nice figure four stretch here. You can gently press down just above the knee to get more of an opening in the hip flexor area. Keep that right foot flexed, kind of drawing the toes towards the knee, especially this pinky toe. If you really think about drawing those toes towards the knee, you'll engage the tendons and the supportive ligaments around the knee to help stabilize it and keep the knee protected. Couple of breaths here. Maybe the next time you inhale, you might want to hinge forward at the hips just a little bit, getting a little bit deeper into the right hip here. Taking a couple of breaths, getting a little closer to the leg as you exhale if that feels good to you. And then when you're ready, the next time you inhale, go ahead and come back up with a nice tall spine. Release the leg down, and then we'll switch sides. Using your hands, you can assist your left ankle to the top of the right thigh, opening up into that figure four, maybe pressing into the left leg, maybe even using the heel of the left hand to give yourself a little bit of a self-massage here. Keep that left foot flexed, toes pointing back towards the knee to keep the knee nice and protected. And then maybe as you inhale, you can begin to hinge forward, getting a little bit deeper into that left hip. Lengthening from the heart to keeping the chin tucked will keep the back nice and straight and keep the neck in line with the back. Inhaling, reestablishing that long spine, exhaling to come any amount closer to the left leg, or just to soften into this pose if depth does not feel good. And then we'll inhale back up to a tall spine and release the left leg down. This time, let's go ahead and lift the right leg, bringing the right ankle to the top of the left thigh without using the hands for assistance,
and see how far you get. I'm barely on the top of my left thigh without using my hands to scooch everything forward. Let's go ahead and inhale here to hinge forward. And notice how the position of the right foot here on the thigh changes the sensation in the right hip. Even though you would think that drawing the foot closer to the belly, higher up the thigh, might be the better movement, not necessarily, because you're getting a different stretch in a different area and maybe even a little bit deeper here. So just like we did before, we can continue to hinge forward and soften. And then on an inhale, we'll come back up to a tall spine. Exhale to release, switching the sides. Let's bring that left leg up to the top of the right thigh again without using the assistance of the hands. And you might really want to inhale here, and as you exhale, use that core muscle strength, drawing the belly button in towards the spine to help lift that leg. So that would be like inhale here, exhale, draw that belly button into the spine, and bring the foot up to the top of the leg. Now we can do our hinging forward with the tall back as we inhale, keeping the left foot flexed to keep the knee nice and protected. Coming forward, softening here, and noticing how and where you feel sensation. Not just in the left hip necessarily, but maybe across the whole entire leg. Next time you inhale, we'll come back to a tall spine. Reestablish the connection of your feet to the earth and the connection of your awareness to your breath. And then we'll go ahead and inhale the arms out to the side and rotate the wrists in one direction, floating the arms up towards a V shape. And as we exhale, we'll reverse the rotations, moving nice and slow, letting the arms float back down towards the earth. We'll do that again, reversing the rotations again, counteracting, I don't know how many hours of keyboarding or whatever it is you might be doing, just taking care of wrists here. And again, reversing as we inhale, coming back up to a nice tall V. And then we're going to stay here for the exhale, and then bring those shoulders up towards the ears, and then draw the shoulders down the back, tucking the chin, really actively pulling those shoulder blades down toward the back pockets. We'll rotate the hands so that the pinkies are coming in toward one another. I'm kind of noticing I'm a little off kilter here in the camera, which is one of the benefits of practicing with a camera. I know a lot of us are doing a lot of live Zoom classes, and for privacy's sake and sometimes for your comfort, you might want to practice with the camera off, but it's kind of helpful if you can see yourself in your own camera feed to see where you might be a little wonky, where you might be a little off. Something that feels out of alignment might actually be in alignment. You never know. So it can be a really cool tool to have. And I'm just still talking to keep you distracted from the fact that our arms are still in the air, the shoulder blades are still down the back, the chin is tucked, the heart is lifted, the spine is long. A lot going on here in what looks like a very simple pose. One more inhale here. And then we'll exhale to float the arms back down towards the earth. Let's get those little shoulder rolls in one more time towards the front. And then reverse it so we're opening up through the heart, rounding back with the shoulders, maybe finding a little more movement than we did earlier. And then we'll come back to stillness. Hands on your knees or thighs. Establish that long spine and the connection of your awareness to your breath. Maybe close the eyes here for just a moment and take a Few cleansing breaths. We'll inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, maybe with a big sigh if that feels good to you. So we'll inhale here and exhale to let it go. Again, inhale. Exhale to release. Last time for an inhale. And exhale just to let it go. Come back to breathing through your nose. Just your nice, normal, comfortable, usual breath. And then the next time we inhale, let's take those arms out to the side and up alongside the ears, bringing the palms together and exhaling hands to heart. This is where we tilt the chin gently in acknowledgement of the light and the love that is within each of you by the light and love that is within me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.